Hey guys, I'm Lisa Foyles, welcome to Analog. Isn't it funny how games try so desperately hard to be dark and gritty and post-apocalyptic, and then everyone just goes out and buys Mario Kart anyway? Well, it's easy to see why. Mario Kart has been consistently good for over 20 years, and the latest installment for the Wii U, Mario Kart 8, may, dare I say, be the best in the series. But if you've driven this game into the ground and need a new karting experience, or maybe one for a different console, then tap the brakes. Here are 3 games like Mario Kart 8. Everyone loves Mario Kart, but there's one downside. It's on Nintendo systems only. Well, luckily for 360 and PS3 owners, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is basically a Mario Kart clone. Just like Battle Royale was a copycat of Smash Bros., Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, despite having the worst title, is a tight racer with drifting, boosting, weapons to screw up your opponents, epic tracks, everything you know from Mario Kart. Instead of Nintendo characters, this is all Sony and Sega. It's a total nostalgia trip as you navigate characters like Ooh La La from Space Channel 5 through tracks themed like Jet Set Radio and Skies of Arcadia. I'm a Dreamcast fan. The tracks are just as topsy-turvy and colorfully chaotic as Mario Kart, including utilizing Sonic levels because that's a total no-brainer. The races aren't just on land either. Your transformable vehicles become boats for water portions and planes for aerial maneuvering, so you can dip, dive, and barrel roll. There's multiplayer, co-op, items that rip off the blue shell. Yeah, this is Mario Kart. Except for Danica Patrick being a playable character. Peach would have none of that. You may remember Mod Nation Racers for the PS3, but there was something missing. We didn't care about the characters the way we care about Yoshi, Tails, and now Sackboy. I'm talking about Little Big Planet Karting. Instead of the shiny, bigger-than-life courses in Mario Kart, Little Big Planet Karting's tracks make you feel like you've been shrunk down into an arts and crafts project, with cardboard cutouts, stickers, and sushi rolls instead of tires. It's a stupidly adorable coat of paint on a kart racer. It still features all the mechanics you're used to, plus some grappling hook action for Indiana Jonesing over pits. Just like Little Big Planet, creativity is what really sets this kart racer apart. You can create your own tracks and then upload them for other people to try. The creativity doesn't stop there. You can also modify game rules, create weapons, and more, even though there is a pretty steep learning curve to the editor. Lastly, Little Big Planet Karting boasts what Mario Kart 8 sorta left out: proper battle arenas. You don't have 3 little balloons floating over your head, but there are specially designed battle arenas so you and your friends can blow each other's heads off, while still being adorable. Licensed games are usually just awful. They recreate whatever movie they're based on in a crappy platformer or adventure game for children. So stay with me on this one, because Cars 2 the game is actually great. A little bit Mario Kart, a little bit Split Second. This isn't a story game, it's a racer. Along with the kart mechanics and use of weapons you're familiar with, you have a jump button and can perform flips, spins, and 2-wheel driving tricks to fill up your boost bar. Another trick? Throw your car in reverse, which can be used as a strategy to shoot the cars behind you. Even though it is Cars themed with Cars cutscenes and Cars voices, the racing feels less kiddish. Instead of silly karts, you have sleek cars. Instead of banana peels and red shells, you have oil slicks and side-mounted machine guns. Instead of racing on high fantasy tracks, you race in locations like Tokyo, London, and Monaco. Yes, that Monaco track. Not to mention, some of the game modes are straight from our FPSs. In Hunter, you encounter waves of enemies in an arena setting. In Attack, you destroy as many baddies as possible in limited time. My favorite multiplayer mode, Disruptor, is basically Capture the Flag, but with cars. I'm sure you sped past this game at Lightning McQueen speed, but slow down and give Cars 2 a try, because I promise it is not just for kids. Which actually shouldn't even matter, because let's face it, we gamers are just big kids anyway. Of course, I always recommend the old classics like Crash Team Racing and Diddy Kong Racing, but those are slightly harder to get your hands on. Leave me a comment with your favorite kart racer and tweet me at Lisa Foyles, and I'll see you next week for another Analog.